All right, today we're going to talk about how matter can be classified into a pure substance or a mixture. Now, if you classify matter into the pure substance category, it can be further classified as an element or a compound. If you classify matter into the mixture category, it can be further classified as a homogeneous mixture or a heterogeneous mixture. So pure substances, we said, can be compounds or elements. Now, the big thing here is they cannot be decomposed by physical means. All right, so we can't take them apart by physical properties, or physical changes, but we can change them using chemical changes. We can decompose them. So that's important. We can make them simpler only by chemical changes. They're always in definite ratios. We see that carbon dioxide's chemical formula is CO2, meaning for every one carbon atom, there's two oxygen atoms. So it's a 1-to-2 ratio. And it has to be in that specific ratio or it will not be carbon dioxide. Same with water, right? In a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 hydrogens for every 1 oxygen. These can be, obviously, the elements that make these up can be found on the periodic table, but they're together. They've got buddies. They're bonded together. So you do not see CO2 on the periodic table. You see it's a combination of carbon and oxygen. And molecules is another word for compounds, and we're going to talk more about bonding later, but that is a covalently bonded compound that we would call a molecule. Elements are things that cannot be decomposed at all because they are the most simplest substances. So they cannot be decomposed by chemical changes because they're already the simplest that it gets. Atoms or elements are simply atoms of the same element. So any gold atom would be considered a gold element. Any sodium atom would be considered a sodium element. Again, those two words mean the same thing. All right, so compounds are molecules, and molecules are made up of 2 or more atoms that are bonded together. And elements are individuals that are represented by individual atoms. And you can find the elements on the periodic table. So you would know the difference between a compound and an element because you would find the specific element on the periodic table, while a compound you would find a combination of elements from the periodic table together as one. Now, a mixture is when you have 2 or more substances that are not chemically combined, meaning that you can most likely physically separate it. So that would be a mixture. They can either be homogeneous or heterogeneous. All right. So a homogeneous mixture is one where it is the same throughout. So we can remember this because the prefix homo means the same. All right. So if you remember from biology, homologous structures were the same structures. So homo means the same. Homogeneous mixtures look the same throughout because the particles are too small to be seen. For example, cake mix, yogurt, all of these are mixtures of different items that are not chemically combined. Sweet tea would be a homogeneous mixture. Salt water would be a homogeneous mixture because you cannot see the small parts that make it up. Versus a heterogeneous mixture, you can see the parts that make it up. Because again, the prefix hetero means different. So a heterogeneous mixture means that you can see all the pieces that make it up. And we see an example of party mix here, or a bowl of cereal, a salad, tuna salad, any of those where you can see the different parts and physically filter them out by picking them out. That would be considered a heterogeneous mixture.